Tonight, you will tell a lie. It might be small, a white lie about how good the meal tasted or how much you enjoyed the party. But as you speak, your heart rate will climb, your pupils might dilate, and your brain will light up with a complex web of cognitive effort that has nothing to do with honesty and everything to do with survival. You are not a moral failure. You are a biological machine built to deceive, and this ability is the single greatest advantage you have ever possessed. For 2.5 million years, our ancestors did not survive because they were the strongest, the fastest, or the smartest in the traditional sense. They survived because they could lie. Think about that for a moment. We live in a culture that views truth as the highest virtue and deception as the ultimate sin. We punish liars. We shun them. We build legal systems on the premise that honesty is the default human state. But if you look at the fossil record, if you look at the animal kingdom, and if you look at the raw mechanics of your own brain, a different picture emerges. Lying is not a bug in the human operating system. It is a feature. It is an evolutionary adaptation so powerful that it rewired our entire species. To understand why, you have to go back. Back past the invention of agriculture, past the building of cities, back to the savannas of East Africa where the first members of our genus, Homo, were struggling to stay alive. The environment was brutal. Predators were everywhere. Food was scarce. But the greatest threat was not the lion or the hyena. The greatest threat was your neighbor. In a small band of hunter-gatherers, social life was everything. If you were cast out, you died. But cooperation is fragile. It is easy to free-ride on the efforts of others, to take without giving, to steal without contributing. If everyone told the truth all the time, society would collapse under the weight of exploitation. A male who announced, "I am going to hunt alone and eat all the meat myself," would be beaten to death. A female who claimed, "I am fertile now," when she was not, would waste precious mating opportunities. Truth, in its raw form, is dangerous. Deception is the social lubricant that allows groups to function. This is the core insight of evolutionary psychology, and it was first systematically explored by researchers like Richard Alexander. In the 1980s, Alexander argued that complex intelligence did not evolve primarily to solve physical problems, like how to crack a nut or track a prey animal. It evolved to solve social problems. He called this the social intelligence hypothesis. In a group of cunning individuals, the best strategy is not to be the nicest. The best strategy is to be the most deceptive, while simultaneously being the best at detecting deception in others. This created an evolutionary arms race. Every time you got better at lying, your peers got better at catching you. Every time you got better at catching a lie, your rivals got better at hiding theirs. And this arms race drove the expansion of our brains. Consider the work of Michael Gillies and his colleagues at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. In a landmark study published in 2008, they analyzed the fossil record of hominids over the last 3 million years. They wanted to know, when did our brains get big? Their data showed a dramatic spike in brain size coinciding with a period of intense social competition. As groups grew larger and more complex, the demands for social maneuvering increased. The neocortex, the part of the brain responsible for higher-order thinking, grew specifically to handle the calculus of deception. You are not smart because you can do math. You are smart because you can manipulate. But deception is not just about tricking others. It is also about tricking yourself. This is the part that most people find hardest to accept. Psychologist Tim Wilson, from the University of Colorado Boulder, wrote a seminal paper titled "Strangers to Ourselves." He argued that self-deception is not a malfunction, it is a functional adaptation. Why? Because if you know you are lying, you show signs of guilt, your voice cracks, your eyes dart away, your body tenses. But if you believe your own lie, you can deliver it with perfect conviction. You become a trustworthy liar. Imagine an early human trying to convince his tribe that he went hunting when he actually spent the day sleeping. If he knew he was lying, the tribe would sense his anxiety. But if he had convinced himself that he was a hard worker, that he was brave, that he was committed to the group, his behavior would be authentic. His deception would be seamless. This ability to distort our own reality is what allows us to maintain self-esteem, to cope with trauma, and to navigate the painful contradictions of social life. Without self-deception, we would be paralyzed by the knowledge of our own flaws. The mechanisms for this are built into your anatomy. Look at the prefrontal cortex, the area at the back of your forehead. This is the control center for executive function. It is the part of your brain that inhibits impulses, plans for the future, and monitors social norms. It is also the part that generates lies. Neuroscientist Adrian Owen and his team at University College London conducted experiments using PET scans to watch brains at work while subjects lied. They found that lying is metabolically expensive. It requires significantly more energy than telling the truth. Your brain is burning glucose at a higher rate, recruiting additional neural networks to suppress the truth and construct the falsehood. You are literally working harder to deceive than to reveal. This cost is a safeguard. It prevents us from lying constantly, because constant lying would exhaust our cognitive resources. We lie only when the benefit outweighs the cost, and the benefit is often enormous. In the animal kingdom, deception is common but crude. A flounder changes color to match the sand. A moth has eye spots on its wings to look like a larger predator. These are instinctive, hardwired tricks. Human deception is flexible. It is creative. It is context-dependent. We can lie about the past, the present, and the future. We can lie to friends, to enemies, and to ourselves. This flexibility allowed our ancestors to form alliances that were not based on blood, but Chinese letter. We could say, "I will share my food with you today, and you will share yours with me tomorrow," even if we did not trust each other. The lie creates the possibility of cooperation where none existed before. But there is a dark side. The same brain that allows you to lie also allows you to detect lies. This is why you can spot a fake smile. This is why you know when someone is being insincere. Evolutionary psychologist David Buss has studied mate selection across dozens of cultures and found that women, in particular, are highly attuned to signs of deception in potential partners. A man who claims to have resources he does not have, or loyalty he does not feel, is a threat to the survival of his offspring. The ability to detect deception is as old as the ability to create it. We are locked in a perpetual dance, a seesaw of deceit and detection that has shaped every interaction you have ever had. This brings us back to tonight. When you tell that small lie about the meal or the party, you are participating in a ritual that has kept your species alive for millions of years. You are smoothing over the rough edges of social reality. You are prioritizing group harmony over brutal facts. In doing so, you are exercising one of the most sophisticated tools ever evolved by natural selection. We often think of honesty as the natural state and lying as the corruption. But from an evolutionary perspective, it is the other way around. Honesty is a fragile social contract, maintained only because it benefits the group to have some level of trust. Lying is the default strategy of the individual, the shortcut that bypasses the hard work of earning trust. And yet, we are not born liars. We are born into a world where lying is necessary, and we learn to navigate it. So the next time you catch yourself in an untruth, do not judge yourself harshly. Do not see yourself as a bad person. See yourself as a successful human. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is protecting you. It is connecting you. It is keeping you alive in a world that is often too harsh for the truth to survive alone.